Hello, everyone. Welcome to FREEWrite Friday. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jessica Lynn Johnson. I am the founder and the CEO of Soaring Solo Studios. And Soaring Solo is a company that is dedicated to coaching, directing, developing, and producing one-person plays all over the world. And I get to work alongside my colleague Heather Dowling, who is an amazing solo performer, teacher, and director as well. And together we work with people all around the globe. So that's a little bit about us. And then some backstory on me, if you're not familiar with me, is I'm a solo artist myself. I toured for over 13 years with my two solo shows, Z and Oblivious to Everyone. I was fortunate to win awards and tour the college market and different festivals and all of that. And yeah, it was an amazing experience. And now I serve as coach, director, developer, producer of solo theater and have directed and developed about 200 solo shows at this point and produced hundreds. And it's certainly my passion, if that's not obvious. And I am a blogger for NoHo Arts. So if you go to the NoHo Arts website, you can find the Soaring Solo blog, which has a bunch of free content, tips, and techniques for being a successful solo artist. And I'm a director and teaching artist at the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival as well. And yeah, I think that's enough for now. That's a little bit about me. I would love to hear about you. Please say hi in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from or where you're at in your solo theater journey, whether that's just being curious, if you even want to create a solo show, or maybe you're already touring. Maybe you've just scribbled some notes down. Wherever you're at is perfect. And I truly hope that today can help move the needle forward for you. And so the mission of Free Write Friday, I've been doing this now for I think a few years, and it's really just to offer each month a support system, accountability, and a container to work on your solo show for just 15 or 20 minutes in community. This isn't a space where we do Q&A or share the work. It's really just to be guided through a writing prompt and get some writing done to see your solo show take place. And start to become a real thing on the page. Okay, so with all of that said, today's focal point for writing is thinking about yourself as having a superhero power as a solo artist, your superhero power. A lot of times in solo shows, it's easier for people to be self-deprecating or to have an inner critic. It's easier to talk about our mistakes and our flaws. And I do actually think that's really important to be able to do all of that because it endears the audience to our humanity. It allows them to see we're being vulnerable and brave to talk about the downsides of our personalities as human beings, and it allows them to trust us. But just as importantly, it's important to look at what makes us special, what makes us shine, what is our light, and our superhero power that we bring to the table. And we're also going to be thinking about our kryptonite. So just like Superman had his kryptonite, which took away his power or downgraded his power, I want us to be thinking in those terms as well. So I'll give you some examples that came up for me. So let's say you're kind of a caretaker. Maybe that's your superpower. You're really good at nurturing and taking care of others and being generous of spirit and resource. Um, your kryptonite for that might be codependency. That might be the thing that makes your offerings not as potent. It might burn the candle at both ends for you and be detrimental. Maybe your superhero power is being abundant, making a lot of money, being financially successful, and your kryptonite is trying to keep up with the Joneses, things never being enough for you, being materialistic and buying into Instagram, presentations of ourselves, things like that. Maybe your superhero power is being a very spiritual person or even religious, being tapped into a relationship with higher power, the universe, or something like that. And then the kryptonite might be self-righteousness, falling into judgment of others, or even judgment of self and never feeling good enough. So Those are just some examples of how we can see the superpower within us, our superhero strengths, but also the kryptonite, the thing that might bring us down. So, this might sound a little fantastical, but as it should be, we're talking about theater. And I'm a big believer in solo shows being plays, being theatrical, being dramatic, having just as much a right to technical accoutrements and spectacle and fun things like that as a full ensemble show. I think a lot of times people think, oh, it's a solo show, it'll be easy. They'll just sit on a stool in the middle of the stage and tell some stories. And some solo artists take that approach, and there's no judgment there. But I want you to think bigger than that for today's exercise. Think outside the box and really see yourself as a superhero with a superhero power and kryptonite. So I'm going to give you 8 minutes to write about whatever's coming up for you. And this is just for you. You know, you don't have to share this with anybody. So be really uncensored. And if what I said made you think of something totally different that you want to write about, that's okay too. The point is you're here and you're writing and you're making progress. So I'm going to go ahead and set my timer. I will let you know when your 8 minutes are up and have fun. A little over 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. Okay, you can go ahead and bring your writing to a close. I hope that that prompt was fruitful for you. I would say at least one takeaway from that that I'd like you to consider is to not be afraid to think outside of the box, to bring your stories to life creatively in your solo show. We do not have to be cookie cutter in the telling of our stories. Solo theater is theater. So just remember that as you're approaching your stories. So, as we wrap up today, I'm just going to roll through some announcements happening in the Soaring Solo community. Some of this might be of interest to you, opportunities for you to consider. Okay, so first up, we have my free solo show class. It's called The Art of Creating the One Person Show. That is going to be happening again on Saturday, July 19th. 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Totally free class. It's about 90 minutes long. And in that class, you are able to ask questions, share your writing samples if you want, and get my professional feedback. So you can just sign up for that on the website under free stuff, just like you did for FREEWrite Friday today. And of course, if you're ever interested in working with myself or with Heather in a more professional capacity, there's no pressure with that, but you can just fill out a contact form on my website, or you can email me directly at soringsoloartist@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to talk to you about our different offerings. We have, of course, one-on-one, but we also have power pair sessions, small group coaching sessions, intensives, special events, all kinds of stuff. Again, no pressure with that, but just letting you know that is there for you. We also produce an online series called Revealed, and that's an ongoing event where we produce or co-produce with the solo artist a reading online of their solo script as a work in progress so that you can get feedback on what's working or not working with your solo show before you put it on stage and memorize it and add all the technical bells and whistles. So if you're interested in learning more about Revealed and maybe setting that stake in the ground somewhere down the line in a few months or something like that, we can certainly talk about curating that together. So just email me, soaringsoloartist@gmail.com. And if you enjoyed today and you want to come back, you can join us again on Friday, July 11th, 1 p.m. Pacific, 3 Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. Sign up the same way you did today to get your Zoom link. And you can also check out my YouTube channel if you just search Jessica Lynn Johnson Soaring Solo. Hundreds of videos will come up on my channel, lots of writing prompts, guided meditation and visualization prompts, and also just tutorials and things like that. So it's a great resource for free content to help you on your solo theater journey. And I also really strongly recommend the festival circuit. I think that's such a strong way to get accolades, to get laurels on your card, to network with other people who are in this creative solo theater community. And just keep improving your show. So there's the Binge Fringe Festivals taking submissions right now, I think through the 30th of June. People from all around the world can participate in the Binge Fringe if you're selected. It is competitive, but hey, throw your name in the ring for it. And that's at the Santa Monica Playhouse. And happens in the fall. But yeah, they're taking submissions right now. The New York City Fringe Festival, I think, has been renamed to the Frigid Festival. That is also a wonderful festival. The Orlando Fringe Festival. Hollywood Fringe Festival is happening right now. It's the last week. So if you are in the Los Angeles or nearby surrounding areas, we've had 14 productions from our community in the Fringe this year. So go out and catch some shows before it ends on Sunday. And then I mentioned the LA Women's Theater Festival earlier, who I direct for and also teaching artist, and have been a board member in the past and performing artist and lots of things. I have a long history with them. They're wonderful. And then I'm also going to be co-producing with Heather the Star series over at the Zephyr Theater in the fall this year. So that's another thing to have on your radar. So those are just a few, but just always be looking for festivals in your area or not in your area if you want to tour. And lastly is, again, I mentioned my NoHo Arts blog. I'll go ahead and put the link for that in the chat, and I'll do my YouTube channel as well in the chat just to make it a little easier for y'all to find. So there is my NoHo Arts blog, and let me just grab my YouTube channel link, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up. So thank you all for being here today. I appreciate each and every one of you joining this call, and I hope that you got something from it. I'm going to hop off, but I will leave the chat up for a few moments, so if you wanted to click on the links or anything, you're able to. Have a great day.